Hello, everyone. Welcome to EdHeroes Global Forum 2024, Cultural Heritage in Education. My name is Natalie Indri. On behalf of Indonesia International Book Fair, that is an annual book exhibition organized by IKAP or Indonesian Publisher Association. It is a great honor for me to be the moderator for today's session with the topic of discussion, navigating copyright challenges in the digital age, implications for publishers and educators. We would like to discuss about the complexities of intellectual property rights as they pertain to digital content, examines the impact of digital distribution on copyright enforcement, the balance between protecting creators' rights and facilitating access to information, and the specific challenges faced by publishers and educators in maintaining compliance while leveraging digital resources for educational purposes. Well, meanwhile, in September 2024, IKAP will hold this annual Indonesia International Book Fair. We would like to invite all of you, the audience, representatives from the publishers, to join our event to celebrate the adventure of reading books and beyond, where literature meets limitless possibilities. All right, so let me introduce our speakers today that are coming from Indonesia, Thailand, and also Korea. First, we have Ms. Weda Stratistiyuda. Hello, Ms. Weda. How are you? Welcome to the forum.
You too.
All right. So Ms. Weda joined Kompas Gramedia Publisher about 15 years ago. And currently, she is the International Project Manager at Gramedia International. Gramedia International also acts as an agent for 7 publishers in the group. And currently, she serves the Indonesian Publishers Association as the Vice President for International Corporations and Relations. And then second, we have Ms. Duangporn Surisambun from Thailand, or we're going to say it as Miss Pear. Hi, Miss Pear. How are you? Welcome to the forum.
Thank you. I'm good.
Pleasure to meet you. So Ms. Pear currently serves as the Vice President for Foreign Affairs as the Publishers and Booksellers Association of Thailand, or PUBAT, since 2023. And concurrently, she is the Managing Editor at Republic of Y, where she oversees editorial operations and contributes to the publication's strategic vision. Holding an MSc in Human Resource Management with a major in corporate finance from the University of Edinburgh Business School, Ms. Pear was a part-time lecturer at the Faculty of Commerce and Accountancy at Thammasat University from 2017 to 2020. And prior to that, she specialized in academic writing as a lecturer laureate in the English program at Stanford University in Bangkok from 2013 to 2017. Her diverse experience in both the educational and financial sectors enhances her multifaceted approach to publishing, making her a key figure in advancing Thailand's presence in the global literary community. And then third, we have Ms. Gimju Lin, or Ms. Beatrice Yongin Lin from Korea. Hello there, Ms. Beatrice. How are you?
Hello, nice to meet you. I'm very happy to be invited as speaker today.
Thank you for making your time. So Ms. Beatrice called herself a professional digital content specialist with technology in heart and the demonstrated career for decades from the licensing, publishing, edtech, and digital content publishing, distribution, and security fields of digital watermark and DRM. As a co-founder and managing director at Co-Mint Incorporated, she is leading a rights agency, consulting and digital content distribution of Korean language ebooks and audiobooks. From 2017 to 2020, Beatrice had led Storytel's audio publishing business in South Korea. She has been following the market and IT trend of South Korea and overseas in content and publishing industry and it becomes a judge, frequent speakers, a lecturer and writer for Korea's Digital Book Association, KPIPA and Kocha of Ministry of Culture, Sports and Tourism of Korea, and on the topic of publishing, ebook, audiobook, digital content, trends, and copyrights in digital environment. She is studying at UA Women's University, the Graduate School of Law, for the future of copyrights in the era of the Fourth Industrial Revolution as an extension of her bachelor degrees of law. Wow, amazing. With all the experience and background that the speakers have, I think our discussion will be very interesting, right? All right, to begin with, can each of you, Ms. Weda, Ms. Pear, and Ms. Beatrice, can you briefly introduce yourself and describe your experience more with copyright issues in this era? Maybe we could start with Ms. Weda. The time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Ingrid. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rita. Thank you for having me today. I hope all of you in a good day and in a good opportunity. I would share about my experience during my work in the publishing industry. So I serve also in Indonesia Publishers Association as the Vice President for International Cooperation and Relation. And currently I work for Gramedia as the foreign rights manager. So my daily activities and my daily responsibility is about making contract and it's also related into copyright licensing and etc. So what our topic today is what my daily responsibility. So I experienced a lot difference before and now, then and now about this more advanced technology, sophisticated technology, and the development of AI for our industry. So nowadays, I have to add like before previously to making contract. I don't bother to add more articles to say that you have to translate truthfully without AI. But now it's very big difference. Like we have to set an agreement to the publisher that you cannot use AI to translate or use our content and upload into AI to help you to produce these books because we are very afraid that our content will be transferred to everywhere without our consent. So it's a very big issue for us in the publishing industry. And previously we just believed that everything is will be done by human, but it's very big different now. So that's what I experience now about the significant challenge
All right,
in the
thank you
copyright
so much.
and technology.
Yeah, and the copyright and also in the publishing industry from the perspective of the publishers. Right. What about you, Miss Pear? Maybe you can share some of your thoughts.
For me, about a significant challenge, right?
Yes.
I think one of the most significant challenge today is the rapid advancement in the digital technologies, which is constantly outpace existing copyright law.
Mm.
For example, the social medias platform is a rising of the social media platform right now, and it's made them very easy to that the user is share the copyright and the materials without the authorization,
Yeah.
leading with the spread of the infringement.
I see.
Yeah, like a case study that I just read is about the not about the author guide on the Google, where the Google digitization is a million of the books without the explicit permissions. And also on the YouTube, that's some of my book, which I have the IP. But that's mean that a lot of the channels they read my book, they read a book from the publishings without the authorizations, or they didn't learn what is a copyright law.
I see.
Yeah, so that is the tensions between the technologies and the innovation is copyright protections.
I see. Thank you so much, Miss Bear. Yeah, that has become a great big issue with so much content being created and shared on digital platforms. I think we must know the rights and also the responsibilities regarding to copyrights to its content, right? All right. So we're going to discuss more about it. And then the third, we are going to invite Miss Beatrice to share on your thoughts regarding to this matter. The time is
Yes,
yours.
I think, yes, thank you so much. I think as an opening question, I think it's a really good question to start with, because most significant challenges in our days, as the previous two speakers already mentioned, this AI technology is obvious. Because for Korea, for example, we already have a subscription model service for ebooks and audiobooks. And in case of this ebook service, you may know that TT adds a service, text-to-speech. So this text-to-speech before AI came into our era, it was always very machine reading, very awkward reading sound. But once AI came in, it really sounds like a human voice and a very emotional human tones and styles that can really make it as real. So some of the publishers are actually raised their concerns. Is AI-based TTS? Is it something like an audiobook recording by human voices? So should we actually treat it as the same when we're licensing the rights of audiobook? And also for the platform services perspective, since they do service TTS for free, but since their audiobook side as a business model is always be very negatively impacted because of a TTS service is very high quality against this human voice recording of audiobooks. So it's been actually raised already about 3 years ago. And platforms, they ask publishers, please make sure that you did not grant any audiobook rights to any audio publisher, so they can actually produce very typical human voice recording, and they can compete with the TTS voice at their service end. And in exchange of these demands, they also try to just pay some of the, minimum guarantees or upfront fees to get, publishers being persuaded. But since the law actually didn't very, I can say explicitly, TTS is not something like granting rights of audio something. So I think it's still in a very vague stage or some gray area that we can say. But the one thing very obvious is since the technology is being so developed, and we really see that it's really hard to tell this is AI voice read or this is a really human voice read. So I think it's a really good time to how we can regulate these TTS rights and how the creators and the publishers to be compensated by TTS service at the platform. And also the other concern is, I think some other countries are ready to set up their guidelines for the AI audio, we say voice font or voice DNA. So the voice samples from the real human voice actors or actresses is being really applied for the recording some of the audio production. So their voice is used as technology, and it's really one of a kind of an innovative way of a production. So they save a lot of time in preparation of the reading audiobooks and also the production time, because basically they need to spend a lot of time in their recording room, but they don't actually have to anymore. And after when mastered and finish all the production, then it's really easy to disseminate and distribute to the audio platforms. But there are still some gaps in between audio platforms, because for their policy, they can accept or not accept the AI-assisted or AI voice recorded audio, but still there are many audiobooks created by this kind of audio samples, the voice samples from the human voice actors and actresses. So how we do compensate those of human voices sample contributor. So this is a neighboring rights issues. So this is something that we also need to actually get in place as times go by.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ms. Beatrice. I myself experienced this because I work as a voiceover talent. So I hope that we can discuss more about the policy on this because it really matters, right? All right. So right before we continue to discuss about this, but let's just put this as the very beginning as a basic question so that the audience as a general can understand about how has the digital age transformed the landscape of copyright law for publishers and educators. Maybe we can start with Miss Beatrice as you study this like a copyright law in this digital era. Can you explain a little more about it?
Yeah, I think it's also another very good question. Since digital age transformed our landscape of this copyright law. So I think as we have a more concept of ebooks, I think it's around 10 years ago. So there are many discussions about when we license print book rights, then we should consider we're going to bundle the digital ebook right or not. So, but now I think it's a kind of a very, very norm to any copyright managers to just always think about the audio and also ebooks when we license this print book rights as well. And since we are just going digital, it's really easy to disseminate. And so as we actually covered from the first question, this copyright infringement become one of a very easy things for the consumers level without any awareness they've been already infringed or not. So we, as a kind of copyright stakeholders, we want to actually have more robust law or enforcement in each countries, and also get international bodies for this copyright law become more work together to make this new law for this digital ages be applicable to every countries at the same level. So I think in that terms, or given that situation, so US started DMCA regulation, and that's one thing that I still remember, one of a kind of turning point for rights managers become more be a little bit learned how we can be more cautious or more be challenging any infringement on digital site. So now everybody actually can understand if there is anything infringing my copyrighted material, then we need to give very immediate any takedown order. If it is not, if it is not actually executed, then we may actually go to the court to make a sue or just go in a more arbitration way of resolution at this time being. So I think once we also have this AI comes in, as we already covered, the nature become more complex because AI or we say generative AI make it really hard to explain or make it really transparent where the source comes from. So that makes this landscape of a copyright law is not quite workable in the time of the AI if we do not actually make any actions at this time being. So this is my very short 2 cents.
Thank you so much, Ms. Beatrice. What about Ms. Weda and Ms. Pear? Do you have something to add?
Yeah, for me, the digital significance transform of the copyright law and the presenting the both opportunities and the challenge for publishers and educators. Yeah, for publishers, is increase the reach. The digital platform is allow the publishers to reach the global audience more efficiencies and more content. So, however, this also means the dealing with international copyright law. That's what Miss Beatrice just talked about. Yeah. So, and the piracy digital content is easily pirate. The leading of the substantial revenue losses according to the report by the digital DCA. Yeah, piracy cost of US economy is nearly the 29.2 billion annually. Yeah,
Annually,
so that's a big number. Well, for the educator, is access to the resources is very important. The educators have a greater ideas, and they need to access to the plethora of the digital resource, enhancing the learning experience like a legal challenge. The use of the copyright on the material digital education must be carefully managed to avoid infringement. Fair use applies often to the clarification and adaptations of the digital context.
I see. Thank you so much. Ms. Weda, you want to add something to this matter?
just maybe short. Yeah, the digital age actually it's make everything easy to reproduction and distribution of the
Yeah.
copyrighted content. So I agree with Beatrice and with the pair. And this is make ours or the publisher or the authors as the copyright holder is challenging to maintain or control over our works because our content is very easy to share and to reproduce. The digital formats, the internet, and as Beatrice said, also the voice, the translator, everything is so easy to use now, and then it's also widely spread and free sometimes, so everyone can use this to use our content to reproduce and to distribute. So the result will be the piracy, like a pair said.
Yeah.
So yeah, it give very big effect on our sectors like the publishing, even in the movies or the music sector. So it's very big challenge to us actually if we are not catch up with this the very fast changing technology.
Yeah. True to that. Yeah, well, not to mention that we also have like the community, the readers can help also to report, right? As the basic question as the readers, because I also a book lover, as the readers, every time we knew there is a copyright infringement, where should we report to? Is there any like special organizations internationally that we should report, or we should report it into into like from the national scale of our countries, our own countries, like whenever I live in Indonesia, so I should report it to Indonesia's government or so? What do you think about it, Ms. Weda? Would you mind to start to answer these questions?
Yeah, for the piracy and copyright infringement, actually, it's depend on the law of your country. So everything based on how the regulation and the law conduct in your country. So if it happen in Indonesia, and you can report with Indonesian law. Also, when we are making contract between publisher and publisher, proprietor and publisher, we will have like agreement when or which country of law that will we use for our to set our agreement. And if something happen with our content or copyright, where will should we finish or make everything clear? Should we go with Indonesia or should we go with the other country? Sometimes also it happened with some of my case. I made a contract with my company and some company, for example, in Thailand, but we agree that we not will use Indonesian or Thailand law, but we move to Singapore. Sometimes we do like this, which country that is most applicable and easy for us to set. So it's all depend on the people who made the agreement
I
and
see.
where the case happened.
Yeah,
So for
yeah, I see. Miss Pear, do you want to add some comments, or Miss Beatrice, please too? Which ones go first? Miss Pear.
Yeah, as Vader says, different countries, different copyright laws. So
Okay.
making challenging to distribute the digital content globally. Yeah, but I think the securing the international license is a complex and often costly.
Yeah.
And requiring the details of knowledge. So maybe we can coordinate with the international laws company to help us with that. Yeah, like an example for the general data of the protections regulation is GDPR, right?
GDPR.
Yeah, the GDPR, yeah, it's EU effects.
Okay.
How the digital content distributes on the and share in the Europe, so they are protect these copyright in EU.
Okay. Right. Miss Beatrice, do you want to add something on this? What about your opinion?
Yeah, so I think the local agency is also very helpful. So I think, for example, Korea, we have two body relating to this copyright protection under the Ministry of Culture, Sports, and Tourism. So it's like when there is a kind of urgent fire, then you need to call 911. So we have a copy 112. Yeah, so
Wow.
this is for anybody, for like any individuals who find any infringement or infringement suspected materials, then they can call and just report to. Then this body started the investigation. So this is one thing that's working in Korea. And what I know is since Korean IP, so intellectual property, become very popular because of the drama or movie films, and also book adaptation or adapted from book to the drama. So, and also webtoons or web novel is also one of the kind of they on the viral, so they were very easily on a pirated website. So the government to government or the governmental bodies consortium, so they work together to make this copyright infringements to become a more like a global stage or global level. They can work together how they can tackle all these pirated materials to be really taken down from the website. So to make it happen, they actually work with the legal law firms in each countries as a very official body to become their kind of aid for the legal side to this governmental consortium efforts. So hopefully but as like you as an individual kind of readers, maybe it's a kind of a local to local, you may find out some good point to just call up.
Thank you so much. Wow, amazing. I think it's going to be easier that we can have the same emergency call to report that kind of infringement, right? Thank you so much, Ms. Beatrice. And now let's move on to how we can find a solution about this matter. Then how, everyone, can we strike a balance between protecting creators' rights and ensuring that educational resources that we have from books, from movies, from audiobooks, ebooks, and etc., are accessible to students and educators, because we know that we in Asia have like a tons of cities and suburbans that lives lots of Indonesian. Maybe there are so many students that are live in a rural area, for example. What do you think? How can we make up the solution? Ms. Weda, you want to go first, or Ms. Pear or Ms. Beatrice? Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So my publishers also working with the school libraries. We are not publishing a textbook for school, so we don't like have many interaction with educators or teachers, but we are working with school libraries and provide them with physical and digital books. So the student and educator can access our book through their school library or the library provided by our government. They are also working with us. But it's the regulation, how they access the book is depend on the institution that they want to read the book. So the institution, the school or the libraries, the education institution can buy a book in a reasonable price or made some agreement with us. So the books accessible for the student and teachers. And sometimes also they make a free subscription and some agreement and organization like this. So the books can accessible by everyone, by the student, the educators, school, and etc. But we are strictly manage and arrange that there is no book that access illegally. We want all the books accessed legal. So we combat the piracy very hard. We are not suggest the people or the students or the school access the book through the PDF, but with the iLibrary application or by the library in their school. So actually in Indonesia, it's very big issue about the piracy. We know in our e-commerce there is a lot of stores that sell digital book, and we are easily to have this digital book, and then we can easily distribute or transfer this PDF file to everyone we want. And sometimes it's free, sometimes it's very cheap. Like the price is very small. Just it's I don't know how they manage the price, but when we report the stores and then we say that they sell illegal book physically or digitally, like the e-commerce sometimes listen to us and then they take down the stores, but sometimes they just ignore. But when they take down the stores, like only in a minute there is a new stores. Like we have some case there. My company is Gramedia. There is a store named Gramedia, but without A in the middle, Gramedia 1000. And then when the Gramedia 1000 taken down, and then another store Gramedia 1001, and then 1002, and then 1003. So it's very hard to combat. But we are in IKAP, in Indonesian Publisher Association, we are work closely with the government and with the regulator to maintain this piracy, so it will not get worse and worse again. But it's still a very big homework, and it need all of us, all the stakeholders, and also people, readers, and everyone to work together, because there will be no pirate if there are no demand. But if still demand, I guess there will be still our book will be distributed illegally and people can read it. And sometimes we have no word to say when the author report to us, why you sell our book in this store and in that store very cheap. And we said, like, it's not us, we don't know even when they get the file, but it happened. So what we can do is only report the store and then they taken down, but there's one more store, so it's maybe it's a long way to go, but we are working.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've ever seen that the price difference went so high, like almost like 50%, yeah, Miss Weda. So it's piracy, book piracy it's still become a big challenge here in Indonesia, right? What about in Thailand and Korea, Miss Pear and Miss Petrus? Miss Pear?
In Thailand, in Thailand also it's very, very difficult to train the people know about the IP. Yeah, but now we have a soft power forum. It's a government policies. They created the Taka. Taka is like a Kaka of the Korean. Yeah, we are trying to promote that the IP is one of the assets that you should aware that this one is under the copyright law. And I think for the way that we can help on this is the open the OER. Yeah, the OER is an open education's resource. Yeah, in a rural area like Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and wherever they can get into the database. Yeah, OERs can provide the accessible the resource without the infringe copyright. The use of the OER is growing, and the studies showing that the students is using the OER platforms as well better those using the traditional textbook right now. Yeah, so I think the implementing and the flexible of the license model is very important of those countries that you can adapt it to the policies or to the laws of your country. Yeah, such as the Commons license, which I don't know if it's able to happen or not, but I wish. Yeah, we can have a common license and can allow the educators to use the copyright materials legally. Yeah.
I see. Interesting. Yeah. Open educational resource for everyone. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. What about you, Miss Patrice?
Yeah, I think, relate to, the peer's point of view. I think the common creative license is one way for the authors, really just grant everybody can use, but as you may know, the Creative Commons license also have a very specific level of the, granting the rights. So once the users have a good knowledge how they can actually use or produce a CCL, then I think there is no kind of side effects or any concern or any like economical or technical barrier issues because I think Creative Commons is one way that the right holders really just make the world to be very rich for the readers and also the educators to use their own content without any any concerns or any worry of the possible infringement issues. And for Korea, these textbooks, especially in print format, is always being one of a never-ending, everlasting homework for the publishers because I think every countries actually have some percentages of the market share. This should be actually, shared more like a 50% or more than 50% of book sales or potential book sales. It's been always consumed by pirated printing or copying from very illegal individual use. So as long as it's not actually commercial, then actually there is no other way that the legal perspective that we actually have or punish the individuals because this is real for their personal use. But interestingly is in front of the university or college in Korea, there is one stationery stores and the stationery store owner, they copy illegally and also sell it, in a kind of a $1 or $2 per copy. So it's basically we say technically it's a commercially they sell. So that's how it should be punished. So over decades, Korean government tried to do a lot of some policing work on this illegal copyright stationery owners, but it never ends. Sometimes the very decrease in number of sales, but once the situations become very settled, then this situation is coming up again. And as we mentioned about this digital age, so ebooks or the PDF files is also very easy to pirate it. So still many students, they share peer-to-peer for their individual use. So the book sales from the publisher's point of view is always decreasing and never soaring like maybe 30 years ago. So there are some of the very official and legal services in Korea for academic sectors to support the students in the college. They can take a note on a tablet PC while they purchase the PDF file from the store. So it's much lesser than they actually buy the print book in the store, but it's more like a concept of a license. So they have a license of use for their semester. They do a lot of some note taking, highlighting for their study. But after this license period, then their copy actually being disappeared. So if you want to keep the copy, then you should actually renew your license every year. So that is something that the user's point of view is feel a little bit aching. So still, we're actually just try to making a good balance from more like a monetary side and also the copyright side and also publishers' benefits. And also that is actually always a link up to the right holders' benefits as well. But there is no solution yet. But still, many discussions are always being ongoing, and we try to just make it more transparent in pursuing this copyrighted material to be used in a better way. So that's happening in Korea.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I have heard about Common Creative License, and I think there are lots of any other similar platform, right, that we can use right now. And maybe you can share a little bit about that to the audience. I just heard little about it. I heard that it was the platform or the AI, the tools that can help us find the digital contents that we need and listed them, and then filter the ones that don't have the copyrights for us and which one have it. Is that right? And the question is that just can be applied or used by the stakeholders or publishers, or each and every one of us as a reader can use it, or maybe we can check this kind of books was like have the copyrights or not. Is that so, or how does it work? Miss Beatrice or Miss Pear, do you want to share some your experience using this kind of platforms? Is it free for everyone, or Miss Pear? Oh, Miss Beatrice, right. Miss Beatrice, do you want to share some of your experience about it?
I thought the pair will go ahead though. I think for this academic side, there was a Trinidad. That's what I know.
Wow.
So their technology is being also adopted by many academic publishers, online educational platforms, such as like a Pearson or McGraw-Hill or Cambridge's. So whenever the students actually writing some essay as a their kind of report task, and so whenever they submit it, then these platforms automatically just detect, and they really just scan and detect any plagiarism suspected points. So there are many criteria, this technology to tell that this is plagiarism or not at the end of their reporting. And now we seem to have AI-driven technology more. So I think there should be more new services, but I think they will be actually based on existing services that I mentioned, like a Trinidad, and then they become more enhanced in their functionality. That's what I know. And then if you know Grammarly, I think you can actually freely check any plagiarism. So because they have a checker. This is something that's what I know, and I also use it for myself.
I see. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Beatrice. Right. So yeah, I think we should see it as one of the trends that can also be happening in the future. What about that, Miss Weda? Let's start with Miss Weda. What trends do you foresee in the intersection of copyrights law and digital educations over the next 5 or 10 years, and how can we, overcome and try to prepare ourselves?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's very hard question actually. Okay, so I'm sure that it will be very big difference from now into next 5 to 10 years, of course, because of this development of the content, of the law, of the technology and everything. And when the content produced like before, it's all by the human, so the copyright is with the author. It's the copyright will stick with authorship, but now everybody make the content also with the technology, with the AI. So it will be, we can say it's original, but we also cannot say it's original. So how we say or how we state that this is copyrights belong to who, to us or to the human or to the machine or to someone else, it will be make the big difference in our copyright law. And also because of the AI, everything changed very, very fast. Like I remember a few years ago, I read some articles that Amazon need to ask people not self-publish their book more than 3 books in a day, because they write the books with AI, so it's easily made, and then in a day they can upload more than 3 books. But we don't know what, or if the author can responsible about the content of the book, because the book maybe is just written by the AI and then not clarify or not do by the research or truthfully written by the author. It's just you have like 150 pages text, then it can be a book. So
Yeah.
so it's, yeah, also to check if it correct or not, is it true or not, it will be difficult to. So how we in certain countries or in the companies set the copyrighted law and then need to check everything, it will be very big difference in the next 5 or 10, because nowadays also it's very big difference. Maybe we don't need to wait until next 5 or 10 years. It's happen now, and people experience it. We, like, I want to make a book, I just need to make a prompt with the certain keyword, and then I will have text like I need 20 pages of certain topics, and then it easily down in just in a minute, even in a second. And if I just send it to the publisher and then the publisher agree, then I can have agreement with them that it will be a books that many people will read, and who knows if it's true or not. So it will be a very big homework for all of us in the publishing industry.
Thank you so much, Ms. Weda. Anyone, Ms. Pear or Ms. Beatrice, do you want to add something to this? In the next
Yeah,
5 years, yeah.
firstly, allow me to back on the common license that Miss Beatrice just shared. I would like to share about one website. It's called the CCC. It's for the higher education. When I was a lecturer, I am quite concerned about the plagiarisms. So the CCC is a copyright clearance center. It's a share copyright that you can be a membership and you can check your copyright and read other contents from other people with the memberships. That's I want to share. And the second is the 5 or 10 years from now, right? I think the trend is the AI and blockchain. The use of the AI now, it's uncountable, right? AI is monitoring enforcement, the copyright and the blockchain for securing the digital rights is likely increasing. The global harmonization is it's the efforts towards the international copyright laws, facilities, and the digital educations is needed. Yeah. And what I said in the last question is increase the OER adaptation. That is more education center, more educational institutions will adopt the OER to mitigate the copyright issues and reduce the cost.
Right. Thank you so much, Ms. Bear. Ms. Beatrice, please.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Thank you. So I think, just listening to Weda's, point of view was really interesting, because as AI really just facilitate more in a production at a very high speed for the, content creations point of view. So that's the kind of beauty of the technology, that we can actually be aided as a creator. So what I see as a kind of a big trend in maybe, shorter than 5 years, because in every year we actually have a new technologies and a new applications on the generative AI actually be announced. So how specifically you can use or you can really make a good use of the technology really helpful for your job is really being mattered. So to make it happen, for the content copyright protection side, we need to actually get our educations for the users of this technology, and specifically with the content creation world. It should be really robustly executed by the help of the government or by the international kind of body for this copyright law. And for the content protection technology side, as a parasite, the blockchain is one of a kind of a good futuristic technology that always be linked up from the content creator's point of view across all the distribution channel towards to the end users. The blockchain really can trace every use, and it really help each of the contributors in this kind of course of the distributions being benefited once there is copyrighted materials being commercially being sold. So I think in the terms, blockchain and AI technology will really help on both ends as very positively for this content creation and also protection, and also for this content copyright infringement side as well. So that's how we need to focus on more education and awareness, awareness side for our users' standpoint.
Yeah, I do agree with your point of view, Beatrice. And now, as we have the closing session, to all the speakers, is there something that you would like to add as we want to close the session? Anyone have the closing statement? Ms. Weda.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So, for the copyright, technology, and educator, it's all actually connected. Like our content used by the educator to educate people, to educate students, but what they used is the content that copyrighted, and then it will need some organization or some agreement to use the content as the consent, and it all connected with the technology, how we transfer, how we distribute, how we make a reproduction of this content. So all of us need to know what we do and what we want to do with related with the copyrighted things, and everything will. It is also big help. Like Beatrice said, the AI is a big help for us. Like it make our life easier, but sometimes it also become a threat. And us as the human actually need to be smarter than the AI to differentiate what we need and what is as a threat for us in the publishing industry, or as the content owner. So our content will be safe and then easily managed and controlled, and people who use our content will not do the infringement of our copyrights. So everything will work smoothly together. That's my
Thank you.
closing statement. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Weda. And Ms. Pear, talk about your point in open education resources is very interesting. Do you have something to add as a closing statement, please?
For the open education resources, I think the licensing agreement is very important for the educators to using the license. Digital library is a platform. It ensures legals that use for the materials, and also for the AI is more benefits. Like not just the platform, not just the content creators, but AI is also help us to protect our content or our copyright, and they are less mistake. They are help us to get a chart. It's like a shortcut to do your work nowadays, but that should be on the ethical concerns for the user educators. Yeah, the AI decision-making, copyrights, enforcement, everything is depend on the humans. So I think all the problem is just addressing about the ethical. That's it.
Thank you so much. So it depends on us, the human, yeah, not the technological behind it, right? So what about you, Miss Beatrice?
Yeah, I think, just relate to the pair's point, because the ethic perspectives of this AI is the one thing that now just become very buzzword in the society for this AI guidelines or AI law related world. So I actually have the same points to just stress before we actually close this session, because we say this is like an AI moral agent. So in short, we say AMA. So this AI become a very smart and smarter every day once they are trained. So we say maybe in some day, by across this singularity point, this technology become just make a like a super AI that we can say superly like a super intelligent AI. So they can actually like a self cognitive. So that means based on what they learned from the human beings, they can do judge and they can do act by their own will. So nobody actually can say how soon we can actually have this super AI come in our life or reality. But to make it a little bit very cautiously approach from our standpoint as a human-centric, we need a really good guidelines. And for this copyright law is also one thing one area should be very critically be engaged from the very early stage, because upon our guidelines, upon our policy, we can actually ask our computer engineers being how they can train our AI engines to become more smarter and smarter. So I really just want to make some good stress, and just want to actually have within Asia, we actually have a more open table to discuss with some of the computer engineers and legal professors or professionals, and as well as some politicians for this policy making can take their views and also perspectives towards to the futuristic Gen AI. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ms. Beatrice. So yeah, highlighted in your saying, Ms. Beatrice, how can we use the technology for our work is matter. And talking about the next big thing that we're going to have in the next couple of years, like blockchain or AI technology, it is necessary to develop updated regulations or copyright law in this digital era as it is today that changes so rapidly. As we pointed out, that we need the guidelines, yeah. And also, I think in addition to that, a good cooperation needed between the government, stakeholders, and also the publishers and all the stakeholders that we have here in local or internationally. It also requires awareness on the part of readers and the public to realize the importance of the copyright compliance, because that's also matters. Well, all right. Thank you, everyone, for joining this discussion. I think all the speakers has delivered their ideas and voices for the topic we discussed today. And it's so interesting how to navigate copyright challenges in the digital age, implications for publishers and educators. I hope that together we can answer these challenges and in real life. And also, thank you so much for the speakers for making your time, and have a great day. And everyone, see you around next time on EdHeroes Forum next year. Natalie Indri signing off. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
And thank you so much.